A brand new season of The Bachelorette is here, and you know what that means, a whole new season to sleuth out. And with night one's episode, we finally have a season preview to break down. One that includes a lot of potential Final 3 and Final 2 footage, where one man in particular seems to be getting cold feet. So, if you're new to these videos, we really only have one rule here. Please, no posting any outright spoilers in the comment section below unless you can back it up with sleuthing, and a link to the full preview is in the description.
Join Charity on a romantic fairy tale for the ages.
I'm here to find a husband.
Someone who's truly going to show up, love me, and be there for me.
I've never had that.
So right off the bat, we're already getting a look at the final filming location for the season. If you're familiar with these videos, especially the early ones, you'll know that one of the most important things to sleuth out is where the season is headed and when. If we can learn where fantasy suites are taking place and then spot one of the men there, well, then we already know someone in the final 3 or even the final 2. And this time our final filming location is going to be here in Fiji. How do we know this? Well, during the off-season there was a People magazine article talking about how Charity's season will be headed to Fiji, so we know they're going there at some point. But what seals it as the fantasy suite and final rose location is some footage we'll see at the end of this preview, which I'll be honest is something I'm very thankful for, as there's a lot of missing gaps in the location scouting for this season. Like, we start this preview off with a bungee jumping date that I believe is with Dalton, who also looks to be getting another one-on-one later in New Orleans. Now, this wooded and mountainous area, also seen here, is probably not a hometown date cause Dalton is from Brooklyn, so that would imply Dalton gets 2 one-on-ones and we're not even in Fiji yet. Other than that, we'll also see that Charity is going to be headed to San Diego. But is that it? This location, New Orleans, San Diego, and Fiji? Well, it's certainly possible, as Charity season kind of feels short, at least when it comes down to the number of men we'll be seeing along this preview. We'll talk more about that as more preview footage comes in. For now, we'll brush aside this moment with Charity and Caleb, as well as this one with Charity and James, I think, as they could both just be from early on group dates. So let's continue on.
Charity is the whole package.
Such an empathetic, passionate woman.
The best day ever! Every time she walks into a room, she is captivated.
Okay, so here we're getting a closer look at a one-on-one with Joey in New Orleans, as well as a one-on-one with Aaron B that I believe takes place next week as, well, we're still in California visiting the Hollywood sign. But this shot here is what really interests me. Now, if we count up the guys, we can see 13 men. And after looking at this for a while, I believe I've identified most of them. I'll share what I know, starting with Joey, Sean, Warwick, I'm gonna say James here, Caleb the pro wrestler, I think John is here, Aaron S, Adrian, not sure, and then somewhere here has to be Xavier and Aaron B, as we know they're in a lot of stuff ahead, and at the end is Dalton. Oh, and also Brayden is most likely here too. So that's 12 of 13 guys I think we can safely mark down as making it here to San Diego, which normally is a pretty solid midpoint for the season. But remember, this season started with just 25 guys, and a whopping 6 went home night 1. Next week we'll still be in California at the mansion, and depending on how many men go home there, the top 13 could be as late as episode 4, but as early as episode 3, which seems fast. So unless there are a few episodes where almost no one is sent home, this season won't be wasting any time. But let's continue.
It's fun to be around this girl.
Bring on my man! Yeah, bring on my man! I have such a great group of guys. They all bring something different to the table.
Alright, now in this section we see another one-on-one with Dalton, as they seem to be running a marathon. If we take a look at the banner here, we can see it says Crescent City Classic, which is an annual 10-kilometer race that's held in New Orleans. So mark down one-on-one dates for Dalton and Joey there. Then we also see a dodgeball group date, or as shown here, the Bachelorette Dodgeball 4. This dodgeball date is one that's been seen, I guess, 3 times before on the show. show. We also see some sort of date hosted by dual bachelorettes Rachel and Gabby, and of course there's a one-on-one with Warwick as the two ride a Belmont Park roller coaster, which is in San Diego. Moving on.
I see myself with each of them.
Oh my God, this is nuts.
I definitely am crushing on you.
With past relationships, I've sacrificed my own happiness, but not anymore.
Okay, looks like we're going to be getting another hashtag ad group date, one that'll be a promo for an upcoming movie. Take note of the Ken written on Sean's undies here, plus the plethora of pink. And by the time the episode airs where they're in San Diego for week 3 or 4, it'll perfectly coincide with the upcoming release of the Barbie movie. Wonder if somebody else will be getting an Oppenheimer-themed one-on-one. Other than that though, we get a couple of low-value shots with Charity and John, as well as Charity and Michael. These could be from just about anywhere. However, the highlight of this section is a one-on-one with Brayden, where the two will be taking a helicopter ride before going to Petco Park in San Diego, which again, looks to be only a few episodes into the season. But up ahead, we're going to be getting some more late game footage, so let's keep going.
Before I met you, never felt like fairy tales were meant for me, but here I am.
Tanner, every time I'm with you, I am on cloud 9.
Honestly, I'm falling in love with you.
And the L word is finally getting dropped, here with Xavier, who also seems to have a train date one-on-one in this wooded mountainous location. I haven't been able to solidly identify it yet. As a Canadian, I keep seeing British Columbia in this, but Googling hasn't helped me so far. Let me know in the comments if it's someplace you know. Now, there's also a section here with Tanner that seems like a major fake-out. Let's take another look at it and try to listen to any strange sound clipping.
Tanner, every time I'm with you, I am on cloud 9.
Okay, notice that we don't see Charity actually say Tanner right here. It really sounds like they cut in her saying Tanner before she says, every time I'm with you, I'm on cloud 9. And apart from this moment, there's almost no footage of Tanner on any dates, so I'd say it's safe to disregard this as anything of significance. But hey, maybe this means that Tanner is that missing 13th man from this shot. Then finally, we have some really interesting footage with Dalton. First is this shot that for now I just want us to mark down and note what Charity is wearing. Then we have this shot at the night portion of a one-on-one where it's actually the background that I'm paying attention to. So we know that the final filming location is Fiji, and Dalton's potential one-on-one footage is here and then here in New Orleans. I don't know about you, but this doesn't seem to match up with either of those dates and rather is giving me Fiji vibes, which would mean we have one of our final 3 guys already. But there's more to suggest that Dalton is an endgame guy ahead, so let's move forward.
Joey, you're just someone that really makes me feel so seen.
I would be crazy not to tell you that I am falling in love with you.
Everything that I prayed for is right in front of me. I am falling in love. But it's with more than one person.
Okay, pausing here to point out that this moment is most likely just a pensive shot that they got before the San Diego rose ceremony. Still, this preview is telling us Charity falls for more than one man, which is actually a pretty standard line and one that indicates we'll be seeing a classic ending. An ending that could quite possibly involve this man as, given the surroundings, it seems like we're in Fiji right here. And based on his build and hair, this could only be one of 2 guys from the cast. It's either Aaron B. or Xavier. Oh, and of course, before we continue on, we also have another declaration of love coming from Joey. Based on the background of this date, I'd say it's most likely from the evening portion of their date in New Orleans. Perhaps that's the location right before hometowns, as I'm seeing no other footage indicating they head to the standard European location before we get to the final 4. So, if this was before hometowns, that would be a common time in the season to say the L word. But let's now move on into the drama section of the preview.
Oh my God, I'm like losing my mind. This is not what this is supposed to be.
We all really want Charity.
I can't tell you how tough it is watching people go on dates.
human nature, there is jealousy.
Okay, in my opinion, here's another fake out. So they have Spencer mixed in here with a jealousy edit, but taking a look at this shot with Charity and Dotun, I'm wondering if what Charity is wearing here matches this drive-in shot from earlier, which would mean Spencer's not involved. Certainly the jean jacket here matches what Dotun's wearing, so it seems like we have yet another Dotun one-on-one. I'm curious if this is a hometown, and even if it isn't, there's enough footage of him anyways to safely say he will be getting one. Otherwise, the main focus of this section is Charity crying. Take note of what she's wearing, and also this shoe right here. It'll be coming back later and could possibly be the big drama point of the whole season. So, let's keep going.
We all had to sit there and just watch them kiss.
The beehive just exploded.
Adrian, did you bring my name up?
I'm going to speak the truth.
Your truth.
No, the truth.
That's my time.
That's just fake.
I've never been so disrespected in my life.
Yes, the man drama. Nothing that reveals anything significant in terms of who makes it to the end, but it does tell us who likely won't be, as men who are only focused in the drama shots without also having some romance footage pretty much always are given the boot at some point. So yeah, mark all these men down as not in the top 4. Brayden's the only guy who's got a shot at it, and even that suspect, as we'll see later, he's engaged in more major drama. Plus, those final 3 spots are filling up fast, and there's just no room for any of these men. But let's continue on and see what else is in store for us.
I don't feel bad at all about taking Charity
I know
first.
you don't feel bad.
Sean is getting too cocky. You're at a point where you're pissing me off. Your bros is on the chest, but who's to say I can't clip that off?
Alright, another man to be added to the potential villain pile, Sean. He's amongst the San Diego crew, but with everything happening here, don't expect him to go much further than that. So let's move on into the next section, which will highlight one of the big feuds for the season.
Brayden's toxic. He's playing her like a puppet.
Brayden's getting time with you. He's not ready for an engagement.
Aaron, you did me dirty because you felt threatened by me. My relationship with her has nothing to do with you.
You are not a man, Brayden. You're not a man. Worm, bro. Nah.
Bro, I'm not a man. I'll you up, bro.
Now, while this section highlights a scuffle between Brayden and Aaron B, I don't think that these two are the only ones involved in this drama. As I see it, Adrian here is involved as well. We already saw him and Brayden going at each other before in this preview, but take a look at this moment, one scene in the preview they showed at the very beginning of episode 1.
Why are you here?
I said I have to see these jackasses.
You're not a man.
I'll whoop your ass, bro. Get my face, dude.
Now match that up with this moment, also from that pre-episode preview.
Like spring break, it's like vacation.
Spring break. Like, are you kidding? I'm not here for the foolishness. I'm here to find love.
So we have Adrian talking about spring break, and then Charity speaking to someone about how that's not what she's here for. With Adrian already feuding with Brayden, I'd guess he's tattling about something Brayden said. Charity then speaks to Brayden here, perhaps at the evening portion of a group date. Then this argument with Brayden and Aaron, also in what appears to be the evening portion of a group date, leads to Aaron speaking to Charity and Brayden having an outburst here. Again, with Brayden in more casual attire, this would have to be from another group date and not a rose ceremony, meaning this drama likely takes place over a couple of episodes. Ultimately, I don't suspect Brayden will survive this, and Adrian will also go home sometime soon, as he's just not in anything other than drama footage, and it's rare for contestants who are so caught up in this stuff to make it far. I'd say Aaron too, but he at least has some romantic footage in these previews, and this could potentially be him. So he has the best chance of going far amongst these 3 guys. But alright, it's time to get into the big drama moment for the season.
Are you kidding? Like, we're a week away from you being on one knee and you don't even know what you want. I'm heartbroken. That's like I expected. It's not fair. This is not right. Like, this isn't right.
Okay, that lone shoe shot in itself is drama. You never see a lone heel on the ground and go, oh, someone's having a good night. So 3 things I want to highlight here. 1, this shot of Dotun. Really, it's just more footage of him. Doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, just more evidence he's a big player in this season. And 2 is everything Charity is saying here.
Are you kidding? Like, we're a week away from you being on one knee and you don't even know what you want.
Seems like this is Final 2 territory and someone is getting cold feet. I suppose it's theoretically possible that it's actually a fantasy suite with a really tight filming schedule, but for now I'll assume it's final 2. And 3 is that this is most likely with Xavier. Check out the beard here, which matches Xavier's, and then the shirt. This could be a match for one scene right here in the pre-episode preview. Now, of course, this man could also match up with Aaron B, and I suppose this shirt could not be an exact match with this one. That being said though, at this point, this is the best evidence we have. But before we talk about what could be happening in this moment and afterwards, let's finish off this preview because it's going to add to my thinking here.
This whole journey has been extremely hard, but I am madly in love. It's terrifying because I'm like so fearful of sending my person home.
You were not supposed to say goodbye to somebody that you love.
And there you have it. This season preview ends with the final rose ceremony location in Fiji and Charity seemingly sending home her runner-up, which of course would mean that 2 people make it to the end, something that is important when we consider the events of this cold feet moment. So here is what my gut's telling me is happening. This is potentially a Gabby and Eric scenario, a big drama fight right at the end of a season that's more about being ready than it is about breaking up, and one that eventually leads to them reconciling and getting engaged anyway. My feeling is that Charity is so distraught here because she's so serious about actually getting engaged to this guy. Like she's feeling I'm about to say yes to you and you're saying you're not sure what you want. Charity then drives away distraught, dropping her shoe like Cinderella stumbling out of a nightclub, but the 2 don't break up. At least I don't think they will if 2 people show up to the final rose ceremony as is implied here. That is my main reasoning as to why I think Xavier is the final pick. He's got date footage, a good but not overplayed presence in episode 1, and strong evidence to suggest he could be in the final 2. But let's now talk who else here is endgame. First, we'll go through the typical routine of Xing out anyone who was eliminated night 1, who's not in this top 13, and who doesn't have any one-on-one footage. And already, we're down to just 6 guys. Joey, Warwick, Dotun, Aaron B, Xavier, and Brayden. I'm gonna cut Warwick because he's really only got that one-on-one in San Diego from the previews and was fairly absent from night 1. Brayden too is getting the cut based on the drama he gets into and the spring break comment that I think is tied to him. Leaving us with our final 4 just by process of elimination: Joey, Dotun, Aaron, and Xavier. Joey is a sleeper pick for the end. He's someone I was eyeing from the little promos they dropped before the season began, and I think he could play a wildcard role as Charity's final pick. As for Aaron, he's potentially been seen in Fiji, but that drama with Brayden might haunt him, and honestly, if it weren't for the fact that so many of the other guys have no chance of being in the top 4, I would have said that Aaron's a top 6 pick at best. And then there's Dotun. He was very present in the previews, but wasn't all that present night 1. To me, that's not unlike Gabby's night 1 edit from Zach's season. Not the focus, except for a small storyline where they were worried they didn't make a strong enough first impression to get a rose. He's also pretty sheltered from the drama in the previews, but maybe that's a fake out. Honestly though, he could be the pick. He's my other final 2, and I'd say go with your gut for this one. Mine, however, says Xavier, for all the reasons I stated earlier, plus, if it's him in this moment, I think they're trying to fake us out. But all this still remains to be seen. We have a whole season ahead of us, and a lot could still happen. However, if anything does, you know I'll be here to sleuth it out as we go. So that's it for the season preview breakdown for Charity's season of The Bachelorette. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment all your theories down below, and subscribe to the channel as there's a lot more content on the way. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
Are you kidding? Like, we're a week away from you being on one knee and you don't even know what you want. I'm heartbroken.
That's like I expected.